Ever wondered how effective thinking works? As soon as we dive into this video, let's take a moment to understand the process. Effective thinking, a blend of critical analysis, creativity, and an open-minded approach. Initially, it involves defining the problem or question in a clear manner. Break this down into smaller components to comprehend it better. Gathering relevant information from diverse sources and perspectives also plays a vital role. Each piece of information should be critically analysed, questioning underlying and biases. Logical reasoning is then used to draw conclusions and consider alternative viewpoints. This process also encourages creativity by exploring different solutions or approaches, even those that may seem unconventional. Remaining open-minded, willing to revise your thinking in response to new evidence or insights is crucial. Lastly, reflecting on the thinking process itself, learning from both successes and failures is key to continually improving your thinking skills. Now that we've discussed this, are you looking for some delicious vegan snack recipes? Well, you're in the right place. Today, we're going to explore the world of vegan snacks, where health and taste merge seamlessly. We'll be whipping up 3 mouth-watering, nutrient-packed recipes: a crunchy vegan wrap with bean and vegetable filling, a hearty vegan sandwich, and a flavorful plate of vegan nachos. Each recipe is a testament to the diversity and richness of vegan cuisine. Ready to add some tasty, wholesome vegan snacks to your repertoire? Let's dive into the first recipe. First up, we have a vegan wrap with bean and vegetable filling. A delightful medley of flavors and textures. This recipe is perfect for a quick lunch or a nutritious snack on the go. Our ingredients are as follows: whole grain or spinach tortillas, black beans, corn kernels, a red bell pepper, an avocado, shredded lettuce, cherry tomatoes, red onion, and optional fresh cilantro. For serving, we'll need lime wedges and, of course, salt and pepper to taste. To start, let's prepare our filling. Mix together the black beans, corn, diced red bell pepper, and finely chopped red onion in a bowl. Season this vibrant mixture with a dash of salt and pepper to bring out those fresh flavors. Once our filling is ready, it's time to warm our tortillas. This can be done in a dry skillet or a microwave for just a few seconds, making them pliable and ready to be loaded up with delicious filling. Now let's assemble our wraps. Spread the bean and vegetable mixture onto the center of each tortilla. Here's where our recipe really starts to come to life. Next, layer on the sliced avocado, shredded lettuce, halved cherry tomatoes, and if you're a fan, fresh cilantro. Each of these ingredients adds a unique texture and taste, creating a symphony of flavors in every bite. To finish off, squeeze a bit of fresh lime juice over the filling. The citrus tang beautifully complements the other components and brings a zesty freshness to our wrap. Finally, fold the sides of the tortilla and roll it up. And voila, we have our vegan wrap. These wraps can be enjoyed immediately or wrapped in parchment paper for a convenient on-the-go snack. They are not only delicious but also packed with essential nutrients from all the vegetables and protein from the black beans. Plus, they're incredibly versatile. Feel free to play around with the fillings based on your preferences. That wraps up our first recipe. Next, we're moving on to a classic with a vegan twist. Now, before we dive into our next recipe, let's take a quick detour into a fascinating story. This is the tale of Grandpoof, a character who once got into a bit of a pickle with cheese. It seems he was standing next to a pot of cheese sauce when he, had a bit of an accident. A piece of cheese slipped from his hand and plopped right into the sauce. His unsuspecting aunt, thinking it was a part of the recipe, ended up eating it. This humorous story serves as a reminder to always be cautious in the kitchen, especially when dealing with cheese. Now, you may be wondering, what does this have to do with our vegan journey? Well, while our story is humorous, it does highlight a serious issue. Dairy cheese in particular can pose health risks. For instance, some people are lactose intolerant or allergic to dairy. Additionally, cheese, especially when consumed in large quantities, can contribute to health issues such as obesity and heart disease. But don't worry, our vegan recipes offer a wonderful alternative. Vegan cheese, for example, is often made from nuts, soy, or root vegetables and doesn't carry the same risks as dairy cheese. Plus, it's cruelty-free and better for our planet. Now let's return to our story. In another incident, a child ended up with cheese stuck between their toes. This might sound funny, but it's a reminder to always be careful when eating. You never know when a mishap might occur. These stories serve as a cautionary tale, reminding us to be mindful of what we eat and how we prepare our food. And now back to our vegan cooking adventure. Let's kick things up a notch with our final recipe. It's time to spice up our menu with some vegan nachos. Our next recipe is a delightful vegan sandwich. This snack is not only satisfying, but also packed with nutrients. The ingredients you'll need include whole grain or sourdough bread slices, vegan red cheddar cheese slices, iceberg lettuce leaves, a large tomato thinly sliced, red onion relish, vegan mayonnaise, and of course, salt and pepper to taste. Start by laying out the bread slices on a clean surface. Place the vegan red cheddar cheese slices on one side of each bread slice. The cheese adds a nice creaminess to the sandwich, which is complemented by the crispness of the iceberg lettuce leaves that you'll layer on top of the cheese. Next, add thin slices of tomato. The tomato slices will provide a juicy and refreshing contrast to the other ingredients. Spoon a generous amount of red onion relish over the tomatoes. The relish adds a tangy sweetness that really elevates the sandwich. Optional, but highly recommended, is to spread vegan mayonnaise on the other side of the bread slices. The mayo adds a lovely richness that binds all the flavors together. Season with salt and pepper to taste. To finish, top each sandwich with the remaining bread slices. You now have a delightful vegan sandwich that's ready to be enjoyed. You can cut the sandwiches in half if desired and serve immediately. The combination of the creamy vegan cheese, the crisp lettuce, the juicy tomato, and the tangy red onion relish creates a harmony of flavors and textures that's truly satisfying. This vegan sandwich is a great example of how vegan food can be just as delicious and satisfying as any other cuisine. There you have it, a vegan sandwich that's as flavorful as it is nutritious. Now let's spice things up with our final recipe. Before we move on to our final recipe, let's take a short detour and share a quirky little anecdote. This is the story of Miss Belle Pum, a character as colourful as the food we've been preparing. One day, Miss Belle Pum was in a particularly giddy mood. Along with her friend, Sir Pomegranate, she decided to visit a fancy restaurant. But instead of taking a seat at a table like everyone else, she chose to sit right on the floor. The restaurant staff were bewildered, but Miss Belle Pum was adamant. "I like it here," she insisted, and refused to move. It wasn't long before her unusual seating choice began causing problems. The restaurant was quite small, and her spot on the floor was blocking the only path to the restroom, which was located up in a tower. A queue began to form, stretching all the way down the road. As the situation escalated, the patrons grew more and more uncomfortable. One man was so distressed that he ended up vomiting right into his soup. It was certainly a day to remember, and a testament to Miss Belle Pum's unique spirit. Now let's get back to our vegan culinary journey with our final recipe. Lastly, we're making vegan nachos with all the fixings. Imagine a mountain of crispy tortilla chips, generously drizzled with a velvety vegan cheese sauce. This is not just any cheese sauce, it's homemade and bursting with flavors. You can make it with unsweetened plant-based milk, nutritional yeast, a bit of refined coconut oil, all-purpose flour, and a dash of garlic and onion powder. If you're feeling a bit adventurous, add a pinch of turmeric powder for that extra color and health boost. Now, back to our nachos. After the cheese sauce, we layer on some warm black beans. Not only do they add a lovely contrast with the crunch of the chips, but they also pack a protein punch. But we're not done yet. Next comes the salsa and guacamole. These two are like the dynamic duo of our vegan nachos. The salsa brings a tangy freshness, while the guacamole adds a creamy, rich texture. And to top it all, we add a dollop of vegan sour cream. It gives a delightful tang and creaminess that balances out the heat from our next ingredient, the pickled jalapeno slices. They give the nachos a spicy kick, waking up all your taste buds. To finish, a sprinkle of diced tomatoes and green onions bring a final touch of freshness. It's like an artist's final brushstroke, completing a masterpiece. So there you have it. In no time, you've created a plate of loaded vegan nachos. It's a festival of flavors and textures in every bite. Whether it's for a movie night, a gathering with friends, or just a midweek treat for yourself, this snack is as versatile as it is delicious. And there you have it, a plate of loaded vegan nachos that's sure to impress. So there you have it, 3 delicious vegan snack recipes. We've explored the savory vegan wrap filled with a colorful medley of beans and veggies, the delightful vegan sandwich layered with vegan red cheddar and crisp vegetables, and the flavorful vegan nachos topped with an array of vegan goodies. Each of these snacks offers a unique taste experience, showcasing that vegan food can be both healthy and delicious. Thank you for joining us today. Remember, eating vegan doesn't mean sacrificing flavor or satisfaction. Until next time, happy snacking.